Hey, welcome back, Global Studies class. It is Monday, February 1st, 2021. It is 2121. Won't be able to do that ever again. Next year, you'll be able to go 2222. And, oh, you know what? 1, 2, 1. December 1st. December 1st. Why are we even talking about this? But it'll be 12, 1, 2, 1. So kind of similar. Anyway, hope you had a wonderful weekend. It is Monday. We are back and we are ready to get after it in Global Studies class. Here's what we got today. We're going to talk about last class, specifically what you guys did and sent in to me. Then we're going to create new and refurbished arguments. You know what refurbished means? If you take something that's old and kind of refix it to make it kind of like new. Kind of what we're going to do today. And then I'm going to hit you with your attendance question and your assignment for today. Now, last class review. You guys were supposed to send me rebuttals to the arguments that your peer sent you. Great job. Great job. Now, a few things I want to talk about with those rebuttals. One, remember we're attacking what the person says in their argument. No need to say anything else. If they're not saying that much, you just attack whatever they said because that's all a rebuttal is. You don't have to go on and on and on. You just attack what they said. Here's what they said. Here's why it's wrong. Here's why. And just make sure you're always explaining why. The next thing is those rebuttals have been sent to you today. So this morning you should have received those rebuttals, and that's going to lead us to what we're doing today, which is kind of new, but not really, because we've always been creating arguments. And a couple weeks ago I told you how our breakdown would be for our debates. This is our second argument creating day. It's day 5, day 6 in there. We're creating new arguments. I'm calling them refurbished arguments. So what you're going to do today is you're going to take a look at the rebuttal that was sent to you, what the other peer came up and said in response to your argument. You're going to look at that and you're going to see, hey, were they right? Ooh, what did they say here? Make sure that you focus on what they say again, and you are going to kind of create a new argument on why you are right. However, you're not just going to do this from memory, like, oh, I'm right, because there's a few things I want you to consider when creating these new arguments. This is like your second round of arguments. We've had one round. If this were a boxing fight, we got one round down. Each person's, traded some punches. You had your opening argument. They had theirs. You had a rebuttal and fought back. They had a rebuttal and fought back. Now it's round 2. This is where it gets good, all right? This is where the cream rises to the crop. And here's what I want you to think about when you create your argument today. You are going to need to make sure that you focus on what your opponent said in their opening argument, okay? Arguments they made in their opening. So when I sent you their first argument that you created a rebuttal to, don't forget about all that stuff because there's going to be some arguments in there that you can still kind of counter-argue and say, hey, remember they said this. They were wrong, and they still are wrong. That's one. Number 2, reasons they said you were wrong in their rebuttal. So the rebuttal that I sent you today, they said you're wrong for a few reasons. Focus on that. Explain why. No, you're not. You weren't wrong. You were 100% right. And these guys don't know what they're talking about. Make sure you explain that. They said you're wrong. Tell me why you are not. Also, anything they said in either one, in the opening or rebuttal, that you think is wrong. Maybe they said something and you're like, no, that's not right. Tell me. Maybe they didn't cite their source. Maybe they gave a statistic and they didn't cite it, or it was a false statistic, or it was misleading. Now's your chance to kind of call them out for that. You got to hear what they said in their opening. You got to hear their rebuttal. Now take a look and be like, let's grade their work. What did they do not very well? And let's attack them for it. Not literally, obviously, in argumentative form. And then finally, always continue to explain why. Why are they wrong? Why are you right? All right? That's it. Simple as that. So you're creating another argument today. It should be roughly the same length as your first argument, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Remember, the winner of these debates gets a little bit of extra credit in this class, so you want to do a good job really on all assignments. But now, with our second argument, you've had a lot of things that you can consider. You've heard their first opening. You've heard their rebuttal to what you had to say. You should be pretty well versed in what they're thinking and why they think they're right. you can go on attack mode and start explaining why they're wrong, still reinforcing it with why you are right. That is your assignment today. So for today's assignment, we're just going to say, create your second argument. And remember, I want you to keep in mind these things. All of these things I want you to keep in mind when you're creating your second argument. You're going to send that in to me today. On Wednesday, I will send yours out to the peer who you are debating right now. Again, not with any names. And then they will create a rebuttal for that, kind of a final closing act. But for now, we are just reassessing the whole situation. It's like halftime. Now we're starting the third quarter. All the sports analogies today. I don't know why. It's like, Super Bowl week. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. It's halftime. We're coming out of the locker rooms. You know what they've got. They've hit you with their best punch. Now you fight back. Create your second argument. It shouldn't be exactly the same as your first. Let me say that. That's very important. I don't want you to just rewrite your first argument. I want you to take everything into account that they've said, everything that they said was wrong about you in your argument, and you go ahead and take that and explain why they're wrong. All right, that's your second argument. That's what you got to do today. That is your assignment. I look forward to seeing how you guys do and seeing what you come up with. If you have any questions, as always, I'm here. Shoot me an email and I'll get back to you ASAP. If not, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.